The views and opinions expressed on This Can't Be Adulting are solely those of the host and do not represent or reflect the views of any individual, organization, employer, or entity we may be affiliated with. The content of this podcast is for informational and entertainment purposes only. Listener discretion is advised. Yo, welcome to This Can't Be Adulting, the podcast where two guys who probably should have it all figured out absolutely don't.
Careers, money, relationships. No one handed us a manual, so we're figuring it out the only way we know how, with real talk, deep dives, and a whole lot of laughs.
I'm Herb.
And I'm Derek. And if you're out here wondering, am I doing this right? Trust us, you're not alone.
So hit play, relax, and let's figure this out together.
Yo, what it do? What it do? Hey, everybody, welcome to This Can't Be Adulting, Season 2,
Please
Episode 9.
Please check out our stories, our reels. I think you'll get behind the scenes of what it takes for us to bring this masterpiece of a podcast to you guys.
It's a lot of user error, end user error. I will say that's a lot of user error because, goddamn, the technical difficulties. We mad embarrassing, bro.
And the fact that Derek taught me something today, and I'm going to challenge some of our viewers. What is it called when you have like a dash in the middle of a sentence? What did you call it?
It's an M dash.
EM. EM dash.
Yeah,
that's the word.
EM dash. Yeah.
It's not like EM like a pot. Like is it spelled weird? Just EM dash.
EM dash. I don't really know why it's that, but
how do you know that?
Because when I was because the reason why this all came up, because I told her, I said, yo, you know me, Derek always likes to talk about authenticity. It's a little annoying, bro. It's a little self-righteousness, bro. I get that. All my friends know that I be like that. I mean well, though. With the authenticity that I'm trying to garner here, I told her, I said, yo, we need to stop throwing the scripts and the descriptions of our posts into ChatGPT and just posting them. It's a dead giveaway that it's ChatGPT because there are M dashes in the middle. Yeah. If everyone knows and uses ChatGPT, whenever you write an email, whenever you write a post, it's a dead giveaway that it's ChatGPT if there's an M dash in the middle. And he was like, well, what? I said, the dash in the middle of like of your post or whatever. And I had to show him, and it's an M dash. And the reason why I know that was because we were told at my last company to use ChatGPT and AI as much as possibly can for posts and all that. And I would do that, and my boss would always be like, hey, just be aware of the M dash stuff. It's very dead giveaway. Okay. I used to live on LinkedIn a lot too, and a lot of people were posting like, hey, if you use ChatGPT, just know that the M dash is a dead giveaway. And emails for prospects, they know that you didn't take any time to write. You just put it through a prompt and sent it out, and they're not going to respond because they know it's ChatGPT.
See, I be looking at it different. So you have authentic Derek over here, and I guess I must be AI Herb because I look at it as I'm gonna put some trash into ChatGPT, and then it's gonna spit it out in a more professional, more easy to digest or easily ingestible text or context. So that's why I just like put my trash in there, let it come out, and then I copy and paste it and put it in.
No, but that's the way I think of it. And that's fine. Well, one or two things.
Yeah,
I get that, but I was guilty of doing this in some of the episodes. Is I was just telling the episode, hey, ChatGPT, hey, you know that our podcast is Can Be Adulting. ChatGPT remembers and go, hey, we did an episode on crime, for example, and we touched on 3 things. Spit out a description that I can put as the post and give me 5 hashtags. And it would spit it out, and I would send it. Don't do that. What I'm saying is write what you think would be the best thing, and it might be garbage. Then put it in ChatGPT and say, hey, can you just clean this up so it flows better? ChatGPT will clean it up using your words, and then go in there and take out the M dashes and make it sound a little more authentic. You don't have to necessarily change words, but just do that.
Yeah, then put the prompt in like, hey, ChatGPT, don't make it look like from ChatGPT.
No, but I tried that all the time. And I tried that. I used to do that all the time. I used to go, hey, make sure it doesn't sound like you take out the M dashes, and it never did. It was fucking annoying.
You don't talk to yours right now.
Yeah, it was fucking. And I used Perplexity AI a lot before too, and I would do the same thing, and it was the same challenges. It would come out like, hey, it would still come up with it was fucking annoying.
So now we know M dash, no good.
In conclusion, fuck ChatGPT. ChatGPT is actually helpful.
Authentic Derek, AI Herb. That's how you prefer to.
We all know you AI Herb, bro. We all know. If you listen to our episodes, you know your boy's AI Herb.
Right. Well, you got a robot over here, so
you know
what it is. A robot. Let's go.
How you been, Herb? You been all right?
We doing well.
Are you doing all right?
The word is well.
Is the word well, though? No. I want to break this down. Are you doing okay?
Yeah.
I want to make sure we good.
Listen, I said,
don't bullshit to our listeners. Are we good?
Okay, listen to me. Yeah.
Yeah. His voice raised. So y'all know what that means.
We're doing well.
I'm just saying, I was struggling last week.
Okay.
I was struggling last week.
Man, I will say it's been some struggle from a while. And we talked about, me going and getting tested. Wow, that sounds so weird. Yep. The boy over here thinking that his T is low. Yeah. Now, we want to talk about this can't be adult, and we're going to jump right here.
I
feel like my T low.
We 40-year-olds, bro.
And I feel like if any of you watch, like, daytime TV, you see, like, the Frank Thomas, like, and the commercial with Doug Flutie in there. MGN. Yeah. I feel like I need to boost my T, which even just makes me even funnier. I don't think those are the same commercials. These are more, I guess, along like the ED commercials, but like the whole commercials where they used to have the guy like Bob comes in and he's all cheering, like, and your wife's gonna like it too.
Yeah.
My T be feeling low, so my boy went and got yesterday. I went and got tested.
You went yesterday?
Yeah, that was yesterday. So I'm gonna see how
just blood work, right?
Out. Yeah,
just blood work.
Yeah, that was it. Initial. So I'll see what my T look like here shortly, and if y'all come back in a couple weeks and your boy over here swole up, you know what happened.
You know what happened. The boy is just massive, though. That's an idea for another episode in the future is, love you ladies, but talk about, like, the real men problems of being 40s, bro. Because every shit's hit hard, dog. Yeah. It's funny because that was a similar reason why I was down in the dumps last week. It wasn't because of specifically because of the T thing, although that's always been an issue on my mind all the time. But it was, bro, everything hurts now, bro. Like, and I don't mean hurt like, oh my God, I'm in pain, but like aches. Here and there, and it's like, and I didn't work out at all yesterday. I didn't run. I stopped. When I say stop running, I'm taking a break because I hurt my left glute. Pause. But it feels pulled, so I'm like, I need to take a break. So I didn't run last week. I didn't lift. As y'all know from the episode, I found puppies, and so that took up my whole time. But I still felt soreness waking up, aches, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So I was just kind of like, man, I'm really a 40-year-old man, dog.
Dude, that really is the realization. Like, I'm honestly coming to the realization, like, bro, you are never going to be young. And, like, you actually are 40. Like,
you 40, bro.
Like, you guys, like, you are 40. Like, it ain't going to get any different. You're going to have to start dealing with the things that people who are in their 40s have to start dealing with.
Absolutely.
That's what the boy was on today.
So we'll touch on that later also. This can't be adulting. As you know, we're doing a live podcast because we did not close the shade. Let me close that shit. I'm so sorry. This is awkward.
Check the studio out. This is a live studio. This is what I'm talking about. Authenticity.
Bro, if it's not one thing, it's another thing.
Dead ass, bro.
Stay straight up every time.
I mean, that could be life, and especially adulting, but like dead ass, it's something. It's like, gotta catch a break.
Hold on. When the fuck did someone from Arkansas say dead ass? Where'd that come from, bro?
Oh.
Because that's something we say up north.
Ooh. Maybe I'm mirroring over here. I don't know
I don't think I've ever heard you say dead ass before, bro.
It rolled off so well.
It rolled off well. I said, wait, hold up. I almost didn't catch it. I'm like, hey, wait, what did you just say? Yeah. So isn't that crazy?
That's what I feel like man, it's getting real out here.
It's getting real out here.
It's real.
Hey, look, we definitely gonna have an episode. I like to have an episode like that, but we already out here. Damn, I forgot to put the stopwatch on out here. It's fine. It is what it is. We out here. Again, just messing shit up.
We'll make it happen.
We have an interesting episode today that we've been wanting to touch on. Herb and I have had several debates. I'm not going to say arguments, debates about this conversation, but we're going to broaden it more. And we've touched on it on a previous episode before, specifically around athletes and the way athletes behave and, why we think athletes are the way they are and how we think they should be. Now, that right there, and when I say we think, Derek thinks, that right there is a problem statement because it doesn't matter how I think anyone should be. Anybody should be able to live the life they want to live. Mm-hmm. But we have our opinions, and we want to broaden the conversation to talk about celebrity influencers.
Yes.
Right? And celebrity role models.
Yeah.
And what we were taught to believe about these people that are, the less than 1% of the people up top, why we were taught to believe that they should be our role models in any way. Why did we idolize them? Mm-hmm. So I want to obviously go back to like, who did we admire growing up? Why did we admire growing up? And how that's changed as we've gotten older. And I guess what our thoughts are about these influences today. I kind of gave it away there because I think there's a new category of influences now. It's content creators, social media influencers.
Yeah. Yes.
And so I think it's just a interesting dynamic to talk about because a lot of this has to do with just human psychology and why these people are the top 1%. And I'm not even talking about financially. I'm just talking about the top 1% because, I'll give y'all an interesting fact about the probability of you becoming famous at some point. But like, I don't know. I just think it's an interesting conversation dynamic. What are your thoughts?
I think it's just interesting, and I think you kind of hit on it. Part of it is just seeing the evolution of the icons of when you and I were growing up, around the 90s, early 2000s, and who the icons and celebrities of today are. Because I think the shift, and I think a lot of people, this is in it. I don't think this is foreign to anybody. Like everybody's going to have the whole, I would say the mindset of thinking like back in the 90s, back in my day, you had to be a celebrity, you had to be talented. Or the talent had to be tangible or easy to understand, or maybe a very general list of talents that celebrities took to, where nowadays you feel like you don't even have to be talented to be a celebrity or have a talent to be a celebrity. And then also just kind of interesting to think about like what the influences of pop culture and celebrities and role models were when we were growing up, and how that maybe had some impact on your upbringing, especially with sports, us both being into sports growing up. And then also kind of what do you think it is nowadays as far as the impact and the role models and the people that maybe we look up to, and if there's any influence that they have on life, especially even as an adult. So.
Excellent points. I love what you said, because I'm actually in full agreement with you around the talent stuff, and we will touch on what that looks like today.
Yep.
But let's go back. Right? 'Cause you brought up a good point. You were talking about, you felt like back then people actually needed to have talents.
Yes.
Expand on that. What do you mean by that? And who are you talking about, and what types of talents are you talking about?
So especially growing up in the 90s, for being as a black kid growing up in the 90s, it was about the Michaels. You had Jordan, Jackson, Tyson. Like those are the Michaels. And it was so funny to see like the celebrity status that they had back then, because they weren't attainable. You didn't have these personal connections with them, so you only saw them through highlights, through prepared media. Like there was never a moment of realness that you saw them. So like I feel like they felt that they were truly stars because they didn't even live in,
they were polished, they were clean, right?
Or they were just manufactured shielded.
But that's what I mean. To us, they were polished and they were clean. Because
you
rarely ever saw the ugly parts of their life unless it got really ugly and it became newsworthy, right?
Yep. Agreed. Like you did not see the bad stuff. I mean, obviously Tyson started to get into his issues, but like with Jordan and Jackson, I mean, Jordan was anybody that's playing sports, if you grew up, Jordan was the guy. Jordan was the dude, and he was clean. You never heard any negative stuff about Jordan, and it's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, I would say like it was just so great to see it was just different to see the talents back then compared to now. So I think that's part of. What are some other maybe celebrities that you had back then?
I will say, from a musician standpoint, culturally musically was super big for me, kind of more than anything else. And I wouldn't say necessarily idolizing them, because it was never like I ever thought that I was going to be, for example, one of my favorite music genres growing up was rap and hip hop. And not to say that I was a rap hip hop fan, but it was like that was what was played. I enjoyed the beats, I enjoyed that. And it wasn't like they were my idols because or I admired them or I liked them because I thought I was going to be a rapper, but it was just their popularity was so big within school culture, within my friends. And it was like, yo, you heard that new Tupac Biggie album? Like, hey, like, isn't that shit? And then you look up to them in the sense of like, they're these celebrities.
Yes.
And music videos were so big back in the day.
Bro.
And you watch music videos and you see these supposed lives that they live.
Lifestyle that they were living.
Yeah. And you're like, oh man, that's what I want.
A whole nother world.
That's what I want to do. And it fed into, capitalism as a whole, like make your money by being rich and famous. And it did seem to me very unattainable, at least from a musician standpoint. But it was something that was very prevalent to me for sure. And it was funny because you're now moving over to like, I played soccer my whole life. But I didn't watch soccer that much. And it was interesting because I knew Michael Jordan more than I knew Maradona.
Yeah, but I think that's probably just because the access. Now you can watch
100%,
all the games.
That's a good point.
Back
now we're
then,
talking about access.
You can watch the games, and that's why the Jordan was so big was because you only saw him 1 to 2 times a week. Like games didn't come on. You didn't get to see every single game.
There was no NBA League packs back then.
It was not that.
Yeah.
So you got to see Jordan either on the main game, and then you would see the WGN game. Maybe during the week. But other than that, you only saw him twice a week. Where nowadays, like LeBron, it's daily. It's daily. I can see him every day. I can interact with him every day. Like this, so crazy because Jordan and them were so like these were the superstars. The times when you would go, celebrities would come to your town and they went to the mall.
Yeah,
and then the people would just flood the mall.
Yeah,
like it just like that doesn't happen anymore. But it's just crazy to think about.
Well,
it's how it was.
Well, yeah, they don't walk the mall, but it's interesting though because. I don't know. I'm trying to think. I think there were also fewer celebrities back then that were well known globally. I think Michael Jordan was one of them. Michael Jackson was 100% one of them. And even Mike Tyson to an extent was certainly one of them.
But
I think there's more celebrities now that are recognized globally.
Absolutely.
And again, the big cudgel here we're talking about is social media. Well, is the reason why this is it, right?
They could connect now directly to the fans as opposed to the things that the reason why Michael Jordan was so big was the machine behind them, where you had to be only way you can get famous was through the machine. There was no directly going out and being independent and becoming a celebrity. Right. You had to go through the machine, whether that's music, film, whatever the avenue was, you still had to go through whatever the machine was. Yeah. And nowadays it's like, no, there's so many different. There isn't a Michael Jordan. There isn't a Michael Jackson. Like nobody.
You don't think so? You don't think LeBron James is Michael Jordan?
No, I mean we see him. We see him too much.
But he's still so well known. I mean, what about Cristiano Ronaldo?
Yes.
He's the most followed man on Instagram.
Absolutely.
He's got over 600 million followers on Instagram, which is crazy.
Absolutely. But I still don't. Because he's world famous, and I don't understand the impact that he may have outside of the United States. But I would say in the United States, there's no more celebrities that when you see them, people pass out. Like we're past that stage. Even if you see LeBron, even if you see any of the top celebrities, like people aren't passing out anymore from them. They're so.
I guess I see what you're saying because you do see them readily. There's still a big fandom, but like maybe not the pass out thing.
Absolutely.
I guess I get that. Like. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I certainly understand what you're saying.
And I'm sure that this may have happened, and we were way too young. But like, I never heard of people like going to like clubs and like the athletes being there, or celebrities being there. And like nowadays, you could go to a Vegas club and an athlete or a celebrity would be there. You can go to a well-known club in your local, Houston, Dallas, these places. And you can see athletes and celebrities, quote unquote, there. So I think it's just different. Because it doesn't have to be like say manufactured as much. Like I say, there's no filter on becoming a celebrity and getting out nowadays.
Question for you, because this is kind of where I wanted a lot of the conversation to go down. But did you view some of these people as role models? Yes. And if you did, why? Mm-hmm. What was role model-esque about them?
Because everything was clean. Jordan was clean, and for me, when I say the role models, I gravitated more towards sports just because that's what I was in. But I could just even think about like Jordan was clean cut, had the suit, had the earrings, stylish, had the shoes. He was the guy. But even some of my other guys, other players that I even looked up to, I was a Reggie Miller fan. Then Charles Barkley had the whole commercial. We aren't role models. All that. So then even almost like the Streisand effect, where it fed into like, oh, these are role models. Like it had the opposite effect of it. Like kind of in that way. Griffey growing up, like I think that these people definitely had an impact just because how they were portrayed to us was like, I don't want to say godlike, but they were like idols. They were really like idol-like.
Yeah, I guess, now that we're digging into it, I'm like really trying to think like if anything sticks out, like, oh my God, that was my idol. And nothing really sticks out like that.
Oh
like there were people that I recognized, but it was never like, again, I never played ball. I never played football. I knew obviously Jordan. I knew Iverson. Like I knew them.
Definitely. Come on.
But I didn't watch sports like that.
Yeah.
I really didn't watch sports like that where I was like a religious fanatic or some shit like that, even though I played soccer. The biggest probably that I started to remember that I was like, oh, I'm a big fan of this person was like Ronaldinho.
Okay, yeah.
But that was like 2006s, 2007s. I was already in college, type of a thing. You know
Really?
what I mean?
I
Yeah.
feel like it's like you didn't have the whole for Michael Jordan. So my middle name Michael. So it's like the whole. Sometimes I dream that he
Yeah.
like Mike. I was like, oh hell, they talking to me. I'm over here like
Yeah.
Mike. And then even after that, when I once Jordan and I got into my like teenage years, Iverson came through. And everybody was wearing the baggy pants. I didn't get the cornrows. I wanted the cornrows. Like,
did you ever have cornrows?
Nah, bro. My hair wouldn't go. I tried it one time. My hair couldn't get there.
I had cornrows plenty of times, bro.
See, my hair couldn't get there, bro. It wasn't going.
I had them rolls, bro.
But this was the Iverson came through, and that was the influence of it. Like,
the big G, the big T's, the large
chains,
T's,
all that stuff. So like that was the influences. I would say. Like that's why I say like even though I didn't look at them as like role models, but they did have an impact on how I dress, what my persona was, like that. They'd all fed into it.
Yeah, well, I guess, yeah. My point is like they certainly had an impact. I certainly viewed them as celebrities, but I don't ever recall me ever thinking I want to be like XYZ. And there was always that commercial, want to be like Mike. You know what I mean? Like that was a thing. That was a big thing, and I was very aware of it.
Yes.
But it's just interesting, and I know we're talking a lot about athletes, but musicians, movies, TV shows.
Whether that's the like the Will Smith coming through in our age.
Yeah,
like, come on,
I was gonna say dog, like fucking Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, like that was so big on
and that was I would say like you don't feel like that had any type of impact on like seeing this person. Like, no, you don't think you're gonna be Will Smith, or you don't think you're gonna be Fresh Prince, but you also feel like, okay, I can identify with this person, and it has some type of impact.
Yeah. The identification I can admit, and I think that's why for me, I think I maybe identified more with like.
I can see the difference.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Like people that were like kids that were closer to my age as opposed to adults. Like it was never like, oh, I don't know. It's so hard. I can't really dig into it. But, I felt like here's the reality. TV and movies probably had more of an impact on like what I thought I wanted to be, how I thought I wanted my life to be.
Yeah.
Because that was not real. That was nonfiction. That was, that was fiction. The characters and the lives that they had, watching Family Matters and wanting that life like that,
yes.
And unfortunately, a lot of it too was whitewashed. Like Fresh Prince of Bel-Air was certainly dope, but there was the Full Houses of the world. There was I used to watch a lot of Nickelodeons, and I think that was more what I idolized in my mind
than the actual celebrities.
Than actually celebrities like that, just like the lives that were depicted on TV shows and on movies. Like, and we talked about this in our culture episode too. Like, I remember Three Ninjas, the movie, and I remember they lived in California, and they lived in a nice fucking house, and I remember that's what I wanted.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted when I grew up. I wanted to have a family in a fucking house like that. You know what I mean?
They said that American dream.
That American dream, and I think that's more of what I idolized than
the actual celebrities
than
themselves.
actually celebrities themselves.
Do you think that's because you weren't at the time? If you look at like the celebrities of the 90s, 2000s, there wasn't a whole lot of Latino major celebrities like for you to even I guess associate with. Do you feel like that's a aspect of it, or just more so like that's just you didn't see it, you didn't have to deal with it?
Yeah, I think that's part of it, and I think also part of it was like me wanting to get out of. And it's not like I lived a terrible upbringing. Like we talked about this, small 2-bedroom apartment in Central Falls, Rhode Island. I was fine. I was safe. I had food. But, at the end of the day, it was a 2-bedroom apartment. Yeah. And the dream for me was always like, that was put on me, that sounds terrible. That was put forth was having a nice house with a yard.
Yeah.
And living in suburbia. You know what I'm saying? Like that was what like I feel like hit me more and what impacted me more out of anything else.
It was more so the messaging than the actual individual. Which makes sense.
That makes sense. Is interesting. But I guess, going back to like even the whole Charles Barkley thing, I'm not a role model. Did you it sounds like maybe you did, maybe you didn't. They said I'm not a role model, but did you look to some of these celebrities and these influencers to show you how to act and how to be in a certain way?
Oh yeah, like there's like how I wanted to carry yourself. Like again, I know we keep going back to like the Jordan, but it's like even whether there was like everything about Nike was clean. Like, and a lot of the celebrities I would say were clean. Like Will Smith was a clean guy. Like Jordan, clean cut. Like Tiger Woods coming through clean. Like that was like, oh, this is how they represent. the essence of Black American men.
Yeah.
Like they were at like, look at these guys and they're like flawless men, and like this is how you carry yourself. They weren't, the drug got in, you just didn't know about it, but like
Yeah, you didn't know about it.
This is what it looked like. So that was, I would say, in that aspect of like, okay, this is what I want to grow up and be like.
Yeah.
It's like this, like I can be this, I can be like, I never felt like I was gonna be Jordan or Tiger Woods or anything, but I never didn't feel like that wasn't attainable. And like,
did you think that you were going to be a professional athlete?
I don't know about a professional athlete specifically, but I would say I feel like I could be somebody. There you go. And how that may look or how that would come out, I felt comfortable being like, all right, I can set myself up and do my things this way, and now I can be somebody. I don't know, and that didn't necessarily mean like somebody famous or anything like that, but it's just more so like, even if I'm not a professional athlete, I still want to carry myself like they carry themselves off the court.
Understood. Yeah, that makes sense. That's a good type of role model to have, right? There's, for as much as I fucking can't stand this motherfucker, Stephen A. Smith, can't stand that shit. But he did say something relatively intelligent a few years back when he was just like, here's the reality. Most of us are not gonna be LeBron James.
Absolutely
or any
not.
of that. He was like, but a lot of y'all can be me. A lot of y'all can end up being like me. And I'm not one of those, but I worked hard, and it's not saying he's telling people, maybe he sucks now, but and I understood that. It sounds like that's the message maybe you were getting,
Yes.
that like, maybe I'm not going to be that, but I can be somebody.
Yes.
Right?
And that's I would say that's more in line with how I felt about that. Like,
Nah, I feel that resonates. All right, let's move to like where we are now. And there's multiple different ways we can go around this conversation, because what do you think has changed outside of some of the things you talked about? The fact that like there's people were more clean back then, or the mirage of them being clean, because there was no 24. There was 24/7 news media at the time, but like it wasn't on your phone.
No,
you had
it
to
wasn't.
sit down
Yeah.
somewhere, and it was harder to see.
This was edited, filtered.
A lot of bad behavior and bad news stories could be covered. You could miss it, but
All
now
you can do is get the Inquirer. That was
now,
it.
yeah, now it's some crazy shit. So, do you think that do you view celebrities and
Oh, hell
influencers
no.
differently now?
No. Yeah. Well, yeah. Sorry.
That's what I mean differently.
Yes. There is no idol. There's no like idolizing, or I don't look to them as like role models. I don't look to them as like influence. However, I do think they do have influence.
Sure. But I guess let me ask the question that I have more is that because you're now 40 years old and an adult and you just know how the real world works, or is it because they're just in everyone's face and you see all their ugly warts?
I think it's being an adult. I think it's just getting older and being like, okay, I'm out of the idolizing phase. Now I can reflect on, and I have people that I cheer for, but I don't idolize them anymore.
Yeah.
Like that. I don't have anybody that I idolize as a celebrity. However, I just say I think it's just getting older is the reason why that's the change.
Do you think these celebrities have a responsibility to act a certain way, or to maybe not act a certain way? I want to be fucking clear, because at the end of the day, everyone needs to do what they need to do. I get that. But like, knowing that you have so much influence, do you think there's a level of responsibility? There's spectrum to the responsibility
I don't think it's responsible.
Portraying yourself and acting a certain way and saying a certain. I don't even know the words to.
I don't think it's a level of responsibility or a code of conduct that they need to abide by, or that they need to be, involved in these types of things. I think nowadays it's just more so a level of like it's more so being like you're gonna have to be accountable for who you are. Yes. And unfortunately, you're not going to be filtered. Like, if you're going to be out there, if you want to be a celebrity, if you want to be famous, if it's something that you desire, then you got to understand that the consequences are going to be judgment. Like, people are going to judge you. People are going to bother you at times. If you're going to be in the spotlight, then people are going to have something to say.
Yeah,
and you can't take the good and not want the bad.
I'm not so much talking about the judging, because the judging is, people judge like crazy. It's crazy, especially now online. It's nuts. It's bad. Put that aside. I'm talking about true level of accountability that people are asking, though.
Like what? Like I guess accountable for what?
If you say some racist shit, if you do some racist shit.
Well, I think that's the judging aspect of it.
That's not judging though. I see. This is where I disagree. Like, I don't think that's judging. I think that's you gotta be held accountable. Like, you did something wrong. You said something completely out of pocket. You did something completely out of pocket. How is that judging when it's like, yo, bro, just
it's not. I don't think judging is a negative thing. You can be judged in a good light. You can be judged in a bad way. Like, people are gonna have something to say.
That's fair. That's fair.
Saying, like,
if you're talking about the connotation of the word judging. That's fair.
Yeah. So I'm not saying that somebody's gonna say something bad about you just because or people got the right to say something bad. I'm just saying, like, if you say something, then you can't be surprised.
Especially in the spotlight.
You can't be surprised if people have something to say about what you say. And you can't be surprised if you say something, and again, it has a reaction. Like, people just have to be, like, I won't say accountability, but you just have to understand that there are consequences to your actions.
Correct.
Good and bad.
But do you think, it's hard to say, do you think most? Because some celebrities are good about it. A lot aren't. Especially the ones with the most influence don't seem to be as open to accountability. I think the reality is I'm not in those shoes. I don't want to be famous. I don't want any of that. And I can understand that there are bad faith actors out there genuinely just trying to drum up. I agree with you on that.
Yes.
But there's some blatant shit out there sometimes that's just like, yo, come on. Like, what are we talking about? You know what I mean?
I think nowadays that the average celebrity isn't that far removed from the average individual. Like, there is a level of fandom and monetary that can be a big difference, but it's not likely that you're going to become a celebrity. But it feels like nowadays you could become a celebrity in so many different ways, whether that's on purpose or by accident. You can
by
become
just going
a celebrity.
viral.
Yeah, by going viral, and that's the thing that we didn't have growing up, was the whole viral thing.
Correct.
Right? And I think nowadays there isn't a level of, like I say, I don't think it's like they need to be responsible. I think it's just because that most celebrities we are finding out that they are just regular people. They all have flaws. Nobody is perfect. That whole stuff that we was fed in the 90s and 2000s about these icons and these celebrities and the tech, like all these people that were famous and rich and elite being perfect or smarter or geniuses, like all those things that make them seem like they were superior than the average person for whatever reason. I think we're getting to see behind the scenes being like, oh, there really isn't that big of a difference between an average person and a celebrity far as like the mindset, I would say.
I think that's what you and I think now as adults, but I still do think that especially the younger generation, their minds are easily manipulated to think that they're idols. Yeah, I'll be honest.
Just like I was. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be honest. Going into this episode, like, I felt like I had some shit to spit, but like it just talking about it and thinking about the thoughts that I have, it really makes me like take a step back and be like, but that's not 100% true. That's painting a broad brush. And so I'm a little bit, I'm not gonna say at a loss for words, but I'm a little like having to rethink some of the thoughts that I had. You know what I mean?
I think I can see where you're saying that. Is it because you had specific celebrities in mind that you were thinking of?
Well, for example, I was going to ask a question like, I think we started this whole podcast with it, but authenticity. I think there's a lack of authenticity out there, and we've talked about this all the time. And I think celebrities and influencers and all of it are at the helm of it. I think there's? And so my question was going to be like, did you think that they were more authentic back then? No, but because it was clean and positive. So has that even changed, or is it more of, how should I say this? I think it's more of like people see that shamelessness gets attention.
Yes.
Doing crazy shit gets
the
you attention.
Same level. There is no. It's
the rage.
Now I will say there's no difference between how you get There's no difference between how you became a celebrity and how you're treated as a celebrity.
Yeah.
Like, Kim Kardashian is getting treated the same as Taylor Swift.
Yeah, no talent.
And it's like, and it's not like it doesn't matter how they became celebrities, or what the route was. At the end of the day, you're still going to be treated the same. So they removed that shamelessness of becoming a celebrity that they used to have. Like, you can't do these things and be considered a celebrity, and the road treated you this way. Where nowadays it's like, long as people follow you, you're a celebrity, and we'll And people
pay you money.
People will pay you. Brands will.
The Kardashians are a prime example of.
I think that's where everybody goes. Like that's what's the switch. I feel like.
But that's a shamelessness thing. That was also Kris Jenner, like being like, no, I'm gonna make this fucking family famous, and I'm gonna do it by convincing Kim to release the sex tape, and we're gonna blow this shit up. That's shamelessness to me.
Yes,
absolutely. It's not to say that I don't think that whole family doesn't work their asses off. They do. What we're talking about. That's not what we're talking about. But to say that they have more talent or they work harder than somebody that fucking cleans the toilet, like it's completely apples and oranges.
Absolutely.
And so that's the type of shit that I'm talking about, because you see people online who like they literally just don't give a fuck how they look. They have no shame, and they go in there.
See this shit with the whole. Oh, I can't even think of the dudes. These guys that just came out the new. Oh my gosh, whatever.
Oh, Clavicle.
There we go.
Yeah, the Clavicle
these people,
guy.
these creators, and we're just getting content creators. We're not even talking about people that have any type of skill other than
he's a looks maxing guy.
Just
look him up.
Content creators, whether that's people from Kai Cenat, Mr. Beast, like all of these people now that are going to this content creator, that come to these new celebrities that are in this space. Like it is no shamelessness, and it's almost like everything is a gimmick. And I do think I understand the authenticity being gone nowadays, and I think that's.
Well, I think look, at the end of the day, there's a level of like you got to sell out to get famous, and I certainly understand that, because there's a level of like things you probably got to do, but you don't really want to. There's really align with you to do it. But I feel like at the very least back then, you still had to have talent. Like you had to be good at a sport.
Something.
You had to actually be able to sing,
or
something. You had to be able to act in some way. Sure, we can point to anecdotal evidence where this, for example, just talking about racism in general. I'm sure there was thousands, if not hundreds, if not thousands of white actors and singers and all that got overlooked over truly talented black artists and Latino artists. 100%.
Yeah.
Then I don't want to ignore that. But at the very least, there was talent to most of these people.
Yes.
Maybe not some of them, sure. Whereas now it's like, bro, you don't even have your talent is that you're willing to do some stupid shit that might harm you, might harm others, or has no intrinsic value whatsoever.
We can't see your art. What's your art?
You have no art. For example, like the Paul brothers. Oh my God, the Paul brothers. And they constantly talked about like, oh, I've got talent, blah, blah. I used to I used to do fucking like 4 YouTube videos a day. You don't understand what the editing like. And I'm like, that's cool. We're not talking about that you didn't work hard.
Yeah,
but bro, you there was no value,
There's
bro.
no exception. Like, what are you exceptional at? What are you like a 1%er at?
Yeah, bro. Just shamelessness.
And that's where I think the difference has changed. It's like, what are you? It used to be we only saw the top 1%. Yeah. Now it's shit anybody.
But and this goes back to my point where you and I have had debates around the athletes, because I think we always we sit here and the status quo is the status quo, and we go, well, this is just the way it is, and there's no other way to do it, and blah 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 blah. And again, that's what I was talking about when we talk about the athlete debate that we have. And it's not like a hill I'm going to die on, but like the level, and to be honest with you, all celebrities have this. Now that I think about it, there's a level of crazy cockiness.
Absolutely.
There's a level of like insane, like over the top, but not all of them. Some of them aren't like that necessarily. But to your, Herb's point was like, you have to be like that if you're going to be number one and at the top. And I'm like, I don't really know if you do. I just think that's a status quo that we accept because nobody really wants to do it any other way. You know what I mean? Like, I think.
Yeah, I think that the issue with that is because they're dealing with the top 1%. So they have to be over the top 1% within the 1%.
Yeah.
Like the Bradys, the Jordans, like they're dealing with athletes. Like their peers are, whether that's whether it's Denzel Washington, his peers, are, Tom Cruise and Tom Hanks. Like,
yeah.
So you have to.
I got the level of overconfidence. Yeah, I get. You gotta have a level of overconfidence.
I'm telling you, in a room full of egos, you can't be the one without the ego.
Yeah.
I wish it wasn't that way, and wish humans wasn't like this. But this is how we are psychologically.
Is it though? I don't know. I just feel like there's a way to. And I'm not saying that. By no means am I saying take the drive away. Don't have confidence in yourself. That's not what I'm saying at all. Don't even have overconfidence. Like that's why it is. But I also think that's. Again, like it's so hard for me to like explain my thoughts today on this shit. It's like I feel like it's a purposeful over exploitation and over manipulation of human psychology. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's just like this is lightly what we've fallen into. I think it's been an over manipulation of the human psychology. Absolutely. And to me, I think that's what bothers me about a lot of it. It's one thing to be like, it's human nature to reproduce. We're going to have sex. It's like, yeah, of course. Okay. But that's not an over manipulation. That's just naturally how it is. I feel like what's being told to us is, well, this is just human nature. There's got to be the 1%ers that have to be over cocky and blah, blah. And it's like, now you're going a little overboard. Yeah. That's not that serious.
Yeah.
But I get it. You do have to be like so confident in your abilities. But the reality is like they do have the abilities. So they should be confident of their abilities.
Yeah.
I just think sometimes it breeds. Sometimes, a lot of times, it breeds shitty behavior, shitty language, shitty examples for kids. Sometimes, you know what I mean. I just think sometimes not sometimes, a lot of times, because I'm not gonna, get my panties over a bunch for sometimes. I think it's a lot of times it does happen, and I'm like, I don't know, I just don't vibe with that sometimes.
But don't you feel there's a level of arrogance for you and I to start a podcast and put it out and thinking that people are going to...
That's not arrogance. I think there's a level I think it's a level of confidence that we have that, yeah, I think maybe people will listen to us, but I'm also not over here saying, yo, we're the fucking best, yo, we the fucking best out here, yo, fuck all them other podcasts when we only have 100 followers on Instagram.
True that,
like,
but
there's
do
a reality
you feel
to it.
When you see
you know
other
podcasters
that you could do that we could be that?
Sometimes.
I see some of them. There has to be a level.
That's not arrogance, though. That's not arrogance, though. Okay. There's a difference.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like I'm saying, like I said, it's a fine line. That's why it's like I'm trying to choose my words carefully because I feel like I'm going to come out of this if people watch this like poorly and fuck y'all if that's the case. But understood, I get it. I'm not right all the time. It's such a fine line. And you know what? Maybe that's the issue. The issue is, and I say this to my therapist all the time, I have a real problem in my brain with the lines. Lines are blurred to me so much. In many facets of my life. Like
that's how life is.
Lines are so blurred to me.
It's gray.
And no. I think it's detrimental to me personally because it keeps me frozen in a lot of things because I'm like, am I being too much or am I being too little? Is that too much? No, that's too much. Or if I come here, is that too little? So we're talking about here, I have these blurred lines of like, but what is overconfident? What is too much confidence? What's just enough confidence? Is that too much? Oh, I think that's too much. But just because you think that, does anyone else think that? And I get into these conundrums in my own brain about it, and I think that's where I am right now with this. Does that make sense?
Do you feel like people live in a constant state of these lines? Like, do you feel like they're always arrogant or they're always not arrogant? Do you feel like
no.
How do you judge? Like, how do you judge an arrogant person if they're constantly doing arrogant things?
Yeah, constantly, yeah. Because I need to give grace too. I want to give grace. I think it's more of like it's a habitual pattern that I'm seeing. But I think we're all entitled to, every once in a while we're gonna get over arrogant about something. I get over arrogant about shit.
But don't you just feel like that's what life? I feel like life.
That is
so
what life
blurred.
is.
Like that,
but it's the constant pattern.
Yeah,
is that? Yeah. But again, for me, I get so confused with what the line is, and I get caught up in my head with like, wait, is this too much or is it not too much? I don't fucking know. I think it is, but I don't know, and I get all confused.
You don't feel like sometimes things can be too much in that moment, but then 30 seconds from now, it could be not enough. I guess that's where I fall at. I guess I'm over here projecting per se instead of just saying how I feel. Like I feel like when it comes, I see life as gray for me, and this is kind of how I process it and thinking that there are lines, and the lines do get blurred sometimes, and I think it's like that's what making it like the line is just used as like more so as a starting point as opposed to like this is what it is, because sometimes certain actions that would blur the line in one moment wouldn't blur the line in another moment, and vice versa. So that's where I kind of like, I'm okay. I like that life is like that, and it isn't so rigid. It's like black and white, and like we're not blurring lines. Like it's either good or it's bad. It's either this much or it's either that much. Like I like the blurriness. I like the vagueness of it.
And 100%. And at face value, that sounds amazing. I'm with you. I'm with the fact that we should not have absolute rigidity, meaning if you step out of line once, you're done. That's not what I'm advocating for. What I'm saying is, for me, it's more about when it becomes a pattern, when you're doing it,
the fact that we rewarding
too many times, we keep rewarding. It's not about that you shouldn't, because that's just saying you can't make mistakes.
I agree with you.
Absolutely
on that part.
not.
I agree with that.
Like
part.
we're humans. We're gonna make mistakes, and it's just about, can you correct yourself? And this comes back to the accountability. Hey, you know what? I fucked up. I said some fucking dumb, cocky shit, or whatever the case is. I said some shit that was fucked up, and this goes back to authenticity. When I hear someone say that, I'm like, cool, thanks. You learned from that. Mm-hmm. Cool. And I'm not even saying you can't even do it again, because maybe you do it again. Maybe you do it another time. But bro, if this is something you're doing constantly, all the time, and you're not catching it, and you don't think that you're doing anything wrong, you think that That to me
But
is
what if
where I
they
have
feed
the
into
problem.
like,
You know what I
your
mean?
followers feed into like
They
you
do.
are doing what's right. So why would you turn your back on your followers?
They do. You're not turning your back on your followers. You're just it's not about that. You're feeding off of people wanting to see more bad behavior, more rage bait.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And it's also like an echo
human. That's
chamber.
human.
You know what I mean?
I mean, bad news sells.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Like people like for example, Kanye or Ye.
Yeah.
Like all the crazy shit he's done and said. Crazy shit.
But I think this is where the
Crazy
evolution
shit.
of me growing up and looking at Kanye. Maybe if I was younger, I would fall into like, oh, I'm thinking like Kanye. He's really thinking something and like he could have an influence. Now this is how I follow. This is how I think, or whether it's the Tate brothers or any of this, the bullshit you see that's going on with some of the people nowadays. Maybe I would fall into that if I was younger. But being an older person, I just look at Kanye and be like, dude, crazy. I would never look to Kanye for any type of advice or leadership or anything else that other than is the music good or not?
Yeah.
Do the shoes look nice or not? All I care about is the art more so than the artist because I know that it's a whole lot of BS that's going on with the artist and I don't care about that. Yeah. Now, am I rewarding him if I listen to the music
that's my
and
problem.
he's still doing the BS?
That's my problem.
Then I don't look at it that way.
That's my
if
problem.
he can put out music that I like,
then
I don't care about what he got going on over here until I care about it.
But he's being rewarded. Yeah. And again, this is why we are where we are today. And that's why we have who we have in presidency. That's my point.
I agree.
So that's my struggle. That's my struggle because
we got a content creator in the off. Yeah.
It's fucking brutal for me because like I get what you're saying. Like I get it.
Mm-hmm.
And look, the reality is like I love Ye's. I'm not even calling Ye Kanye. Fuck Ye. Kanye's old shit, and I'll listen to it all the time. Mm-hmm. Like I'm not gonna stop listening to it. And is that still rewarding him in some way? Sure. But where I draw the line is I'm not gonna pay attention to any of his new shit. I'm just not. I'm not gonna buy tickets to his concert. Okay. I had a bunch of cousins that just did. You fucking sellouts. They all went to LA. Oh yeah, they were loving. Fuck that shit. But they're gonna take your same point. I understand what you're saying. They're taking your point. But it's kind of fuck you, Derek. I don't give a shit. Cool. I feel like we live in a world now where everything is just kicking the can down the road. Everything is just like, yeah, I'm gonna excuse this by doing this. Oh, I would have supported him in this way. I would have taken advice. I would have told my kid, but I'm gonna give him my money. And
we reward him bad behavior.
He's just like, I can say whatever the fuck I want. Motherfuckers is still gonna be sucking my dick.
I will say that's the biggest difference now is that we really reward bad behavior.
We do.
Back in the past, in the 90s, early 2000s, before all the social media, we did not reward bad behavior. You had to be good.
Yeah.
You had to be. There were no villains really for the most part. So nowadays, we literally have villains and they're being rewarded, and they're some of the more I don't know, well-known celebrities now.
And I'm not talking about like just one or two or three bad. We're humans. We're all gonna fuck up. That's not what I'm talking about. I just want to be clear to the homies. I'm not saying I want to cancel people just to cancel them, but bro has had years and years of crazy off-the-wall shit that's being done with it. He's definitely sick, and it's just like. We reward it. Doesn't matter. I'm gonna let that go. And I hate to use Kanye as an example because I'm not trying to bury a black man when at the end of the day, man, we got so many white people, fucking.
I don't think
crazy motherfuckers.
I don't think it needs to be
crazy motherfuckers. No, agree. Which is why I still hold Kanye accountable.
Yeah.
But like my point is, I don't want to use this to be like shitting on Kanye type of shit because then I just brought up who we've got in fucking office right now. We just reward bad behavior because people are like, oh, make me feel good and like blah blah blah. Yeah. And it's like, yo, at what point like motherfuckers are mad about what's going on in this country? Motherfuckers are mad about all this, and we literally reward all the people that have the power by allowing them to continue to do bad behavior.
Absolutely.
That's what we do.
But I will say that's because do you feel like, I don't say because, but like I say part of that is behind the whole thing that you're preaching for so much. I don't say preaching, but the thing that you advocate for so much is authenticity.
Yeah.
And now we're saying like all their flaws are just showing how authentic they are. They're real. Yeah. That's why you see their flaws. But if you really, they're really good and they're no different than the people of the past because, I mean, they weren't any different than the people of the past. And the people in the past had their flaws that they're starting to come out. So now it's like, oh, well, see, this person's just being authentic.
Yeah, but just because someone's being authentic and exhibiting bad behavior doesn't mean you have to support that. Like, thank you at least for being authentic. I appreciate that. Like, but that I'm not saying, oh, I'm going to like this guy who's authentically coming out saying he's a rapist and he's going and doing rapey things. And at least I'm being authentic. That's not what I'm saying. And I also think that a lot of the behavior that's going on isn't really authentic. I think a lot of it is for grabs.
Yeah,
I
at
do
some
think
point,
some of the shit Kanye
yeah.
saying, he knows, yo, I'm just gonna do this for clicks and blah blah blah. I do
I
know
don't know
for
if
a
it's
fact
for clicks. It's more so is that
for
it's.
eyes. For eyes on
I
him, for
don't know
more
if you
followers.
even
Yeah,
look
yeah.
at the
It's for
eyes
attention,
aspect,
bro.
or it's like this internal feeling of like people. I guess that's what the eyes and the attention. That's what
Yeah.
that's what the feeling that it bringing to them. So I guess I see what you're saying.
Again, it's such it is a nuanced conversation because look, I'm sitting here preaching on fucking my soapbox over here, but like I reward bad behavior all the time. Like I'm not saying I'm absolved from the system. We live in this capitalist system all the time. Like, you know, I want to be rah revolutionary, fucking let's fucking revolt against all this shit. But I'm over here fucking going to Starbucks and getting my fucking coffee once. You know, I stopped significantly, but I'm still doing it once in a while.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? It's like it's hard.
Right.
It's hard to be like, all right, we're just gonna dump every single person that. It's not even that we don't agree with, because again, I can disagree with people on certain things, and there's certain viewpoints where I'm like, I don't fuck with that, but like. I don't know. I just feel like we can see who the people are that are actually good people. Like, let's not act stupid. Let's not act stupid.
I don't know. I feel like they get buried behind all the nonsense.
Nah, I mean, personally, I feel like I'm a good sense of authenticity. I feel personally, I feel like I can judge that. And when I feel someone's just being inauthentic and then exhibiting bad behavior and being like, yo, that's not even what you really think. You're just doing this shit for attention. Like, I gravitate away from that. I'm not talking about, like, there's people, like, for example, just politics-wise, which you got to admit, politics now, people are becoming celebrities in politics now, too, just for saying off and crazy shit, you know what I mean? Like, you know, like, even AOC, there's a bunch of shit that I don't agree with. The way she acts, does, and some shit, she being shady sometimes.
Both sides,
But for the most part, I fuck with it. Like, I still fuck with her. You know what I mean? For the most part.
But you also don't look to her for your moral compass either.
Correct. You know, so it's like, I'm not trying to make it seem like, yo, we need to cancel everybody. It's just like, yo, we need to be more aware of the way we're getting the wool pulled over our eyes and the way we're being manipulated to allow these people who have influence. And I'm not talking about politics right now. I'm talking about just celebrities. They have influence over our lives. Just be aware of like the shit they say, how they move, how they act. Because we're rewarding this bad behavior, and we're getting flooded with just like such shitty fucking information all the time, and we're normalizing this.
Yes.
And we're being desensitized to what true humanity is. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I'm all over the place.
No, I think you're absolutely spot on as far as like saying like where it used to be and where it is now. I mean, it just goes back to the technology and the ability of we have all of our celebrities in our pocket. We can connect with them in a matter like instantaneously, where before, like, dude, I don't even know, people still send fan mail. Like, people used to send fan mail,
but it might be like emails now.
Yeah, what I'm saying, like, even like, or people like,
or DM,
like sending out, like, you know, like they used to do back in the day, where you see people just have you know a container full of mail, and they just like reading through fan mail. Nowadays, I just go on TikTok, I post it, or I post something on social media, and that's how I do whatever it is that I'm looking for. So I think that it's just nowadays we have different avenues of being able to connect with quote unquote celebrities, famous people, way more personally now, and way than we did before. And as far as the authenticity is that we see all of their lives, the good, the bad, the ugly, and
the reality is too, most people out there now too are just a bunch of grifters. They're just grifters. They're just trying to get money from you.
Absolutely.
That's it.
Absolutely.
They're trying to get money from you. Just chill. I want to end on this because it was really funny. This news story came out recently. This Indian med school student who was trying to pay for med school was like, I don't know how I'm going to pay for med school. I don't know how I'm going to do this. Started an AI MAGA influencer account of like a MAGA hot girl, Gen Z girl.
Yeah.
It was posting all the time. He gained like 100,000 followers and more. But he had all these MAGA people paying him money, like OnlyFans money. And it was all AI generated.
Yes.
It was all AI generated. It was crazy. But again, it's like people are so stupid, bro. And this is this shit, and it happens on both sides. I'm just calling that out too. I'm sure it happens, and I'm not talking about like just MAGA are stupid, which MAGA are fucking stupid, but in general, like this is what we have been conditioned to be now, is to follow the attractiveness, follow the outrageousness, and being like, I want more of that, I want more of that, as opposed to really listening to real shit, like real shit. I don't know how else to say it, man. Just like real fucking shit. Like people genuinely just trying to help people And we don't pay much attention to that anymore. It's just
It's a dime.
what's entertaining? What's gonna get me? I've
mean,
been guilty of it too, bro.
We all are. You have to
guilty
be
of
to
it
live
too.
in this day and age. You have
I'm
to be
guilty of it
connected. I
too.
mean, again, it goes back to the technology. You have to be part of the technology, and that's what I think is driving a lot of this.
It's crazy. Anyways, Herb, I will say this, man. I want to be like you when I grow up, bro. So
Hey,
you know what I mean?
that ain't the worst thing in the world.
It ain't the worst thing in the world.
Look at the boy. That ain't the worst thing in the world. There's been worse.
Get that tea up first, and then we'll talk.
You gonna hit me with a hurt? No, my tea all down.
My tea all down.
Damn, I gotta get my tea up. Yeah, that's all right. When I go, you got it. Y'all see me about. Give me about.
Boy, gonna be yollic in 2 weeks. Gonna be out here like, whoo, whoo.
Welcome to this thing be adult.
Nuts like this though, tiny with that tea though. It's gonna shrink, bro. Gonna be terrible, bro.
Hey, that's all right though. I got some room. I got some room.
Yeah, good talk. I feel like I was all over the place, but yeah, we'll see.
No.
I think
That's good. Again, it's authentic conversation.
Yeah, I like that. I like how you tied it up.
Again, we good over here. Y'all see this? Y'all see the talent?
Yeah,
Come find us.
we the best, dog.
Come find
Yo,
us.
we the best,
Yeah,
dog.
they
Get us
sleeping
a
on
deal,
us.
dog.
We the-
Spotify, what's up with that $100 million fucking podcast?
Yeah, we ain't asking
deal,
for no more
dog?
likes. Go like if you watching. Like right now. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. I'm looking at you. Hit the like button.
All right, bro. What you got for a fun fact for us?
So,
today, dog?
well, you know what? I thought about this one. We can get back to space stuff, and it just happened. Something just recently happened was Voyager 1. We've talked about this before. It was the space shuttle that was launched, space probe that was launched in 1977. They just sent it out there to go as far into space as it possibly can.
Well, originally that was not the goal. The
Okay.
goal was to explore the outer planets. Then when they did that, they were like,
keep
let's
going.
keep this bitch going.
Yes, there we go.
Yeah.
There we go. Well, something happened in March of this year was that it was launched in 1977. On March 30th of this year, it reached 1 light day away.
Yep.
1 light day away.
Isn't that crazy?
1 light day, not month, not year.
Not
1 light
week.
day away.
One
1
light
light
day.
day away. 1970. It has traveled 16 billion miles.
That's a light day.
16 billion miles.
So that means that it takes light 1 day to travel
1 day.
from here to where it is right now. Isn't that crazy? So that means that when it sends us a signal,
Yes.
it will take us 2 days to communicate
Yes,
back
it's
with
2-day
it.
communication.
It'll take a day for it to come to us.
And a
We
day to
send
send
a
it back.
signal back 2 days.
2 days.
Traveling at the speed of light.
Since 1977.
186,000 miles per
bro,
second.
before we were born,
Way before.
it's 1 light day. Not even a year, bro. I can't even believe it's not a light year. 1 light day away.
Just a day.
Just a day away. And
Not even out of our solar system yet.
so that I guess that was really my fun fact, just the fact that it's been going since 1977.
beautiful,
and
bro.
it's literally 1 light day
I
away.
love that. I love
One
that.
light
We need
day
to get
away.
back to the space facts. I love that. Thank you for that. That was good
Yeah.
because I remember that was a big milestone they talked about. And they say that it's only got about 3 to 5
see
years
that.
lifetime left.
I see that.
It's literally running on like
They done shut all them.
they shut
a lot of
everything
stuff
off. They still
down.
got the
Yeah.
energy. It's wild that it's still running. It's wild.
That's
Bro.
crazy.
That's a good one. Cool. Appreciate that. Fun fact that I had is going back to celebrity statuses and just talking about like the chances of a person in the United States of America of achieving significant celebrity status, defined as widespread recognition, are extraordinarily low. Estimated to be in the range of 0.0005% to 0.0125%.
125 125. Okay.
For the average person, the probability of becoming a household name is nearly zero, with some analysts comparing it to the odds of winning the lottery, which is almost 1 in a billion.
Okay.
General population, one estimate suggests only about 0.0086% of the world's population is considered famous, a number that is likely lower for any single country.
Yes.
So that whole 1 in a million rule is like,
Yeah.
that's not even it. No, we're
That's
talking
not
about 1 in like a billion.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's like 3 million people in Arkansas. I don't know how many of them become famous.
Yeah, it's great, and a lot of it is luck because there's a lot of talented people out there.
Absolutely.
Most of it is luck. Right place, right time, right people. It's not that you're not talented. It's not that
depends
you're
on
not
the talent.
talented.
I would say nowadays it depends on the talent. If you are extraordinarily talented at something, we'll find you.
Yeah.
We'll find you. So I don't think it's luck that you become that you're found. I think it's more so luck that you are blessed with the talent, whatever talent it may be.
Oh, I had my iPhone linked to my computer.
Oh, okay.
So it was calling me. That was bizarre.
So yeah, so I think that that's more so where it's not necessary. I think that it's more so like the chances of you being born with a talent and developing that talent to where you become a household name is the luck or the.
That's crazy, bro. That's crazy, bro.
Well, we did
Did it again. Season 2, episode 9.
Authentic Derek, AI Herb.
AI Herb.
Be sure
That's
to
an
tune in.
AI avatar right there. That's not even her.
It ain't even me. I got like look at all these
That's
fingers.
AI. He got
Look
a
at all
bunch
these
of
fingers.
he got a bunch of teeth. That's AI. Got a bunch of teeth running through his eyes. You know that's not the real Herb.
Yo.
My bad, bro. I'm just shitting out of
Yeah,
it.
that's all right though. I need this. This is how this authenticity. Bring bullying back.
Bring bullying
Bring
back.
bullying back. That's the
Hashtag bring
problem.
bullying back. Yo, he wild. Don't do that. Don't do
Here
that.
we go.
Kids, don't bully. All right, appreciate it, bro. Holla. Peace.
Peace.